Hello there. While I'm hiding hay with hay, I'll tell you what this episode will be about. First, there will be an update on how the potatoes are doing and what I have done so far. Second, I will pick up the potatoes, or at least try to pick up what there is. Now we run an update. From time to time I have spent a few minutes adding material to the potatoes. It serves two functions. One is that it protects the potatoes from sunlight. If there is too much sunlight on the potatoes, they will turn green. You might think it's okay when it's green, but in the case of food, it's often not okay if their natural color is different. The green is a poison that forms in the potato, and you can feel quite bad if you eat the potato. Children can even die from too many green potatoes according to some sources. If the potato becomes neon green and luminescent, run away as fast as you can. Then it could be a nuclear power plant worker who has accidentally dropped a uranium rod. It hasn't happened to me though, luckily. The second task that the material fulfills is that it should hopefully increase the amount of potatoes. Potatoes have the ability to produce seed along the stem that becomes covered. In this episode, I show just a few of the occasions that I have filled the bed. In fact, I've spent a few minutes here, and they're filling in bits and pieces. You don't have to do it all at once. Since I ran out of hay, I fill it up with other things such as grass, leaves and pine needles. The kind I have raked up from the yard. If I find something inappropriate such as plastic, metal and dead people, I clean it out. Experts claim that grass is too nitrogen-rich for potatoes, but they may only say so to feel important. I don't think it does any harm as a filling as it is not the main source of nutrition. There is still a layer of hay in between, unless the hay has chosen to flee. It has shocked me how fast it grows when I top up. From one day to the next it has sometimes grown so much that my eyes hurt. But maybe I shouldn't rub my eyes so long and hard. But what do you do when you have a hard time believing what you see? I really hope it grows at least as much under the hay. It would be interesting to dig carefully and see if I can find any potatoes. I have to wait until the fall, otherwise it's like opening a Christmas present in September. Then you have less to look forward to when it comes. A general rule is that the harvest is 8 times the seed. It can vary depending on the potato variety, weather and much more. With that rule of thumb, I have a measure of whether things have gone badly or well when I finally get to harvest. The variety I use is called Tinka. It should be resistant from several diseases and give a good harvest. In addition, I think it is perfect for cooking. It is firm and easily peeled, just the way I want the potatoes. I will show soon when I pick up potatoes, if there are any to pick. It has often rained, and thus the sun has often shone with its absence. We also haven't had as hot as we usually can, but at the same time, we haven't had really cold periods either. How this has affected growth remains to be seen. In order to classify how it succeeds, we have to set up rating systems and requirements. Now I've already made a list of requirements, so you don't have to. The grading system is 5 steps: fail, bad, good, very good, success. The requirements are size, anything over about 25 millimeters counts, that is, any one over an inch in size for these who only know the outdated imperial system. I make a subjective assessment, where the target is the appropriate size for my use. Large ones that need to be split when cooking give a lower rating. B. Disease, it can be scab, the amount of worm eaten and leaf mold. C. The amount where 8 times or more of the number set gives the grade of success. Less than 1 potato per plant results in fail. D. How far up the stem the potato grows. If potatoes are completely missing, the grade is fail and success if there are potatoes more than 10 centimeters up the stem. That is 4 inches for those who use the unscientific system. Now it's time to pick up the potatoes. I'm careful when I remove the filling so I can see if there are potatoes growing further up the stem. You also don't know what lies beneath, for example worms, that swallow them in whole. As you can see, it is very easy to remove the filling and it would have gone quickly if I was faster. If you look closely, some leaves are yellow with dark spots. I would like to blame it on painting them that way, but my unscientific judgment is that it is leaf mold. It may be due to the rainy summer, but there may be additional reasons. It is best not to grow in the same place year after year because diseases can lie in wait for the next sowing. Therefore, I am growing in another place, but I realized that I may have used some filling from last year. It doesn't help much if you move to a new place and take parts of the old place with you. Feel free to write in the comment field if I'm wrong. I can already say that requirement B, illness, does not get the highest marks. The potatoes that I planted were not in good condition to some extent. Some were small, some looked half dead and wrinkled, and some looked good and were the right size. Seed potatoes should not be too small as they form part of the nutrition for the new potato. Even when I seeded, I made it difficult to get good grades. Because of the leaf mold, I decided to pick up the most affected plants first. It turned out to be the first plant, in row 1 and almost all in row 2. Therefore, today I will start with row 1 and then move to row 2 at the end that is worst affected. I also want to remind you of the newspapers that I planted. If they are whole and nice, I can switch to more interesting newspapers. The problem is that I don't know which newspapers the potatoes and worms like to read. Now I'm going to be quiet for a while and you can sit back and watch as I pick straw by straw. Now I will babble on again. I apologize to anyone who has fallen asleep to the movie and wakes up to my voice. There are two things that strike me: worms with newspapers. It's not physically the worms that beat me with the newspapers, it's the amount of worms, and the opposite with the newspapers. I have to be careful not to hurt worms. They are everywhere in abundance, and if there are plenty of them, it is a good sign. They break down material so it becomes manure. Even the ink from the newspapers is broken down into fine and useful fertilizer. And they have been busy reading, so there is not much left of the paper, just a thin layer, like there is a page or two left. There are other things that I have also discovered. Only one potato was discarded as it was diseased. Two had wormholes but could still be kept. Now it is time to sum up and calculate the grade. I will also give my subjective assessment, and discuss what things may be due to and possible measures. You are welcome to write in the comment field below what you think. In terms of size, I rate it good. They would have liked to have been a little bigger, and there were a few too many small ones. Disease gives the grade very good. Despite leaf mold, only one potato was bad. A few may have had signs of disease, but there was very little scab, and only two had been bitten by worms. The quantity gives the grade good. I never weighed, so I don't know the weight of the seed. However, many were very small, so I estimate that what I picked up was on average larger. At least a couple of seed potatoes didn't make it, and didn't produce any potatoes. Out of 30 sown, there were 57 food potatoes, which were on average larger than the seed. That is, I got back seed, plus food. I have saved the finest specimens as seed for better success next year. The weather has not been favorable. Although the rainfall has been too good, the sun has hidden behind raindrops and clouds. As for how far up the stem it produces potatoes, I rate it bad. I have not been able to see that it has grown up on the stem. In one place, potatoes rolled out when I pulled out the filling, but I don't know if they had grown a bit up the stem. At least now I know that I don't need to fill up so much, so it will make it easier for next year. The average grade will be good. There was a little food, and, in addition to that, there was seed, and the quality was still good. You also have to bear in mind that with traditional cultivation, some potatoes are destroyed by the picking itself. In my case, not a single one was injured. They were also cleaner and easier to wash off. In addition, almost no tools are required, and not as much work to pick up. Preparation took almost no time at all, just raking up old hay in a meadow under which you hide the seed. Preparing a traditional land requires a lot more resources and work, so I think it is reasonable to get a slightly smaller harvest and put in a lot less work. In the next video I will explain why there was a long break from this one, and I also have a little more to cover. If you haven't already clicked the subscribe button, you are welcome to do so. Also, don't forget to click the like button. See you in the next episode, and don't forget to bring in the sunlouner. Until then, bye.